Nearly 5 years ago, we introduced you to Grand Valley State student Lauren Ziegler. We spoke to her 7 months after what she called the worst moment of her life, a stroke that nearly killed her. Lauren was unable to eat solid food, unable to move, and unable to talk. Doctors called her a miracle. The fact that she was so active before the stroke saved her life. And now, nearly 5 years later, Lauren received her first invite to the 2024 CrossFit Adaptive Games. Here at CrossFit Lake Effect, there is a familiar face.
Recovering from a stroke was not fun, but it was a good challenge and why I could do so well mentally after, too.
It is Lauren Saul. You may know her as Lauren Ziegler, the Grand Valley State senior that we interviewed in 2019 after a stroke that nearly killed her.
So after my stroke, I set a couple goals that maybe to some would be crazy. Run a half marathon, get married, graduate, have kids.
Another goal was the CrossFit Games, and now 5 years later, Lauren received her first invite to the CrossFit Adaptive Games, making her fight all the more worth it.
I could have let it ruin me and just said, I'm gonna sit in bed and then not try to get better. But I took it as a challenge.
A challenge making Lauren an anomaly. We decided to remind her of her comeback from over half a decade ago.
Do I say the same thing?
I hate to use too much hyperbole, but you know, when we talk about 1 in a million, she really fits that bill.
I hated running before, and I still don't like it, but I signed up to do a half marathon because I was like, I'm not gonna just recover, I'm gonna get like better than I was before. Not much has changed, I guess.
Except a miracle happened.
Praise God that I was able to do what I can do because I really shouldn't be able to be.
Lauren is exercising better than she ever has, but not without feeling the effects of the stroke.
And I have some spasticity issues here. You can kind of tell it gets pointy and funny. And then I don't have any function in my thumb right here anymore. Like, I'm trying to move it and it doesn't move.
But doesn't limit her dreams. Lauren looks ahead to the Adaptive CrossFit Games in San Antonio.
I thought my dreams were over, but the adaptive community is just incredible and everyone is so friendly, and the people who run it, it's awesome.
Wow, what a story. Meanwhile, the Pistons were 29th in three-pointers made this past season, but with the second most cap space in the league, Detroit decided to address that concern. Sharpshooter Malik Beasley is signing with the Pistons on a one-year, $6 million deal. Beasley shot 41% from behind the arc with the Bucks this past season. His 224 three-pointers made ranked 11th in the NBA, but that is not the only money move for Detroit today. Simone Fontecchio is reportedly re-signing with the Pistons on a 2-year, $16 million deal. Fontecchio was a trade deadline ad for Detroit and tallied 15 points a contest in his 16 games with the Pistons. Now, after adding Beasley, the Pistons now re-sign one of their better shooters in Fontecchio, who shot over 42% from behind the arc this past season. Tigers taking on the Reds, looking for back-to-back wins. The Claws wouldn't come out until the top of the 8th. The Tigers down 2-0, and Wencel Perez comes up clutch, a game-tying 2-run homer. Only home run number 6 on the year for Perez. Brings in Parker Meadows, and it ties the game at 2. Later in the inning, Mark Canha down the first baseline. Matt Vierling trots on home. Canha's 33rd ribby of the season puts Detroit up 3-2. The Tigers would add on 3 more. The game is currently 5-3 in the bottom of the 9th. The Whitecaps are also in action. Currently no score between West Michigan and Great Lakes. That'll do it for sports. We'll be right back.